Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This season, Chief Concerns is teaming up with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, to bring even more excitement to Chiefs football. The Chiefs are a 1.5-point favorite against the Eagles this weekend, and FanDuel has all the action covered. Whether it's betting on Mahomes' passing yards, Kelce's receptions, or locking in a same-game parlay, FanDuel makes it easy with fast payouts and tons of ways to win. And don't forget, tune in every Friday to Chief Concerns for our best 5-leg same-game parlay of the week, along with JD's 10 keys to victory to get you ready for game day. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, your post-game show. I'm Marcus Dash. That's my brother Teja Dash. JD will be joining us shortly. He just was celebrating with his nephew Chad. It's Chad's birthday today. So happy birthday, Chad, if you're watching, buddy.
Happy birthday, Chad. Sorry we couldn't give you a better gift.
Well, Chad's a Packers fan, so he got his win on Thursday.
Yeah, but true. But a happier JD. How about that?
That's true. But yeah, it takes a lot to break JD's spirit. But maybe some of the things he saw today, maybe a little bit broken. But yeah, guys. So obviously, tough loss for our Chiefs. 2017, we lose 0-2 for the first time since 2014. 2014 was the last time the Chiefs missed the playoffs. So 2014 went 9-7 that year. So yeah, first time going 0-2. First time 0-2 in Pat's career. First time Pat has lost 3 straight games in a row. So yeah, not the best, man. Not the best. So okay, let's talk about some of the things. So when JD gets in on, we'll continue to talk more things. But honestly, this game, I'm seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, Eagles beat the Chiefs down." Not really. First off, we lost 2017. That's one takeaway, right? But we lost this game without Xavier Worthy, without Rashee Rice, two of our top 2 guys on offense. If Jalen Hurts didn't have A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, they would have Jalen Reagor and Jahan Dotson as number 1 and 2 receivers. I don't think they're in that game at all. I think this game is bigger than 2017. So that's one thing. But this game boils down, for me, when I look back at this game, there's 2 things. It's the 4th and 1 on our own 20-yard line in the third quarter. I thought that was maybe – so it's a weird thing talking about tendencies and trends. That's not Andy Reid's – that's not an Andy Reid thing. Andy Reid's not a big fan of that. Doesn't really do that. That's more of like a Brand Staley kind of thing. You know, that's more of like a one of these new coaches going for those type of things. He doesn't do that. That's not an Andy Reid trend or tendency. So weird that he did that in the third quarter. And then the Kelce pick. I think the Mahomes throw to Kelce. Kelce turns his head around, drops it, or it tips it up in the air, pick, and then momentum goes the other way. Kudos, Josh Timmons, for making the chase down tackle. Shows the effort there. But those 2 things, I think momentum-wise, I think that just that killed our momentum, especially on that Kelce pick. We're about to score a touchdown there, man, and you do that. I think when I look back at this game, those are 2 moments that are going to be ingrained in my mind. What are kind of the moments that stick out to you in this one, Tej?
Yeah, I had very similar notes. I don't think the Eagles really beat us. I just think we lost it. And I think this game, I think both teams were playing pretty safe for the most part. I think they were just waiting for someone else to make the big mistake. I feel like the Eagles in the first Super Bowl blamed their turnovers for why they lost. And then played pretty safe after that. And their defense just dominated us in the Super Bowl last year. I think this time they kind of went into it with the same outlook. It was like, let's just not lose the game, right? Let's make the other team lose it. And we did. We had 2 I call them 2 turnovers because when you turn the ball over on a fourth down at like your 30-yard line. That's a turnover. I mean, that you're giving them points if you don't get it. It's like they're at the 50 and they're like, all right, well, they have to get a first down and then some to get, like, it's points right off the bat. Like, guarantee you're giving them at least 3 points. I'm impressed that Reed was that confident in our running game to get short yardage. I can't believe he called that. Lately, we've seen the whole little rollout dump off throw on those 3rd and 4th and shorts. That's been our short yardage play. But I think he mostly went to the run on these short yardage plays.
No, last week Hunt had the catch, one of those slip of catch on the 4th.
One of those, yeah.
But then he had a run up the gut. I mean, Hunt had a lot of run up the guts last year, as far as conversion wise. I mean, Hunt has been the staple for that guy. That play, I don't really like that play specifically. It was like with Hunt and then like in the 3-point stance with the 2 tight ends right there. I didn't really like that play necessarily, but I do like going to Hunt for the short yardage plays in general, though.
Yes, and I mean, look, we had 2 turnovers and lost by 3. I don't think the Eagles played particularly well. Their passing game sucked. They had one play or 2 plays of over 6 yards in the air. I think they just Devontae Smith one. I don't think they had another one in the air of more than 6 yards.
No.
The run game wasn't impressive. Barkley averaged a measly 4 yards a carry. And that's because he had a couple of like 8-yarders toward the end of the game. If he didn't have those, I mean, he was averaging like 3.5 for most of the game. 3.5. Their defense played well, but again, we got up the field against them. We missed a deep throw. We got another deep throw, a few minutes later for a touchdown. They were there. The plays were there. We just really ruined our opportunities and didn't seize the other opportunities we had. I'm not even going to start on the whole ref controversy, false start on the tush push, but that's a whole other part of it, right? Like, I mean, like Brady said, you're really dealing with a team that's got 1st and 9. Like, it's very true. And honestly, and you and I talked about this in the offseason. I'm not sure if it was on the show or not, but I'm not a fan of banning the tush push. I'm not one of those people at all. So it's not one of those like bitter that they do it well. But let's examine, like, everyone had a hard time figuring out why they do it so well. Well, maybe it's because they get away with things that other teams don't practice. Other teams don't practice guards firing off before the ball snapped. Other teams don't practice the center completely being over the ball by about a yard. I mean, like, you can't even see Pereira said it best at one point. He's like, I'm done with it. Officiating this play is so difficult. Well, then, like, okay, at that point, let's talk about banning it, because if the many, many years ahead of officiating saying that you can't officiate it, then you got to ban it then. So now it's not a competitive advantage. I'm not worried about a team doing it well. I don't want to ban it for that reason. But if official is saying it's hard to officiate it, then that becomes a problem, right? On a pure officiating standpoint, not a pure stupid, this play's so dumb and boring, it's not fair. I don't care about that nonsense. I care more about, can it be officiated in the rules of the game? And if it can't be officiated properly, then get rid of it. As simple as that. There's too much controversy behind it in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think the play, it's fine, but if you can run it legally, because like you're clearly getting a running start with your 2 guards and false starting every time. So if you can't do that without getting penalized, then all right, naturally a team won't do it anymore. You can still the play can still be used, but if you take away that aspect of being able to false start with your 2 guards, then like the referee should be calling that. And I'm surprised because the NFL does want to get rid of it, right? Like, you hear the way that they talk about it in the booth. They want to get rid of it for the it not being an entertaining play. Okay, well, referees, do your job. You're on the field. That play should be under a microscope for you. And when you're seeing guards jump off like that, I'm surprised they're not calling that. I know people want to say, oh, Eagles are the new sweethearts of the NFL. I don't know about that. But as far as that play in general, that happened many times. And it was enough times today where a coach goes to the referee, players go to the referee, hey, like, watch the guards, they're moving early. They definitely told them that. And even with that, they still didn't call it, which is so weird. It's like, it's a clear false start. And there's other things too, like the play, I don't know if it's a legal formation. The center's head's clearly over the ball. I mean, the whole thing is just kind of weird. I mean, when you look at the bird's eye view of the play, the whole thing is kind of like a kind of hodgepodge, man. It's odd the way they kind of officiate there or not officiate that play.
Honestly, I mean, Trinkle didn't take it from him. I think they both had a little 50-50, but in that regard, I think it stays with the runner because he's already the forward progress stop. But even if a guy took it away, how would you even know when he took it away? How can you? And this is why they don't give him a lot of those first. Like they didn't get 2 of them, the touchdown and the first touchdown and the first down on the third down or the second down, whatever it was. Because it's really hard to see where the ball is. It's impossible. It's just a really hard play to officiate in terms of ruling, in terms of spotting. One complaint I do have for us on the tush push is, and I said this to you, I was yelling about it. Our DB's just sitting there at the end of the line of scrimmage, not doing anything, while a professional tight end and a professional running back shove the quarterback over the line. And it's like, dude, nail somebody. Those 2 guys are still pushing on the pile. Go hit somebody, dude. Like, do something. Crack them in the rib. Make them think twice about doing that play 20 seconds later. Like, punish them. They're so vulnerable. And it's legal at that point. And you know what? If guys started doing that and it became a whole, well, you know what? This is going to become a safety concern because that guy is wide open. And I can't call a penalty on that DB coming full speed and cracking a dude in the ribs because that guy pushing Hurts is an integral part of the play. He's a very important part of getting that first down. And you know what? It's DB's job to stop that. We're looking for ways on how to stop that. One way is just cracking that dude when he can't really defend himself. So make them want to pull back on it themselves. But I saw McDuffie just sitting there watching like the play go. And it's like, dude, you can still make an impact on this play, right? I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating in that regard. I'm not blaming the game on that, but the game's too close to have that play's already really hard to stop. You don't need a ref advantage, right? You don't need an officiating advantage.
100%. That's why I think the false start's BS because it's a tough play to stop. That's why teams want to get rid of it, right? Sure. From a strategic, competitive point of view. But at the end, like we're talking about the false start angle on top of it already being hard to stop. They don't need that extra cushion there. So we got some super chats. Appreciate you guys. We'll get to these right now.
Palomalu, by the way, couldn't touch Hurts in that play. Hurts is way too low. He's not Josh Allen reaching over. Hurts is hiding behind O linemen and pushing them from behind. Like there's no like meeting him up there. Like it's you have to get low and you have to get someone behind to nail the tight end, and you have to get someone else to pull Hurts just grab his ankles, just lift him up so he can't push anymore. But all that happens in a matter of like 2 seconds. So it's just almost impossible, especially when they're firing early.
Yeah, so we have a super chat from Taryn Young. Appreciate you, Taryn. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. So, guys, I'd like to hear your opinion on Pat's play. I thought the line played good enough for Pat to get the ball out. I mean, I thought it was mixed. What's his name? What's their DC Fangio? Fangio. They talked about it on the telecast today. He blitzed more than usual. I don't think they didn't blitz at all during the Super Bowl, which is crazy. They had 6 sacks against us, but today they blitzed a lot more. I thought the series where Jalen Moore was in was kind of rough. So thankfully we have Josh Simmons. So like that show you, by the way, like there's clear drop off in talent from Josh Simmons to the next guy. But I thought the O-line played it, well enough. I do think we're still Pat wants to do the deep shot so badly. So he's holding on to the ball, waiting for those things to develop. Whereas simply that one drive where they had they call the blitz and Makuba came in went right down the center and went for the sack on Pat. Makuba leaves that zone. Juju Smith's wide open, flashes right there. You throw it right there. Pat's holding on to the ball. I think Pat really wants a deep shot. When he talks about it in the offseason, that's not lies. Pat wants to utilize that arm of his. Yeah, he overshoot guys a lot of time, and he gets the accuracy down with some of these guys. But again, he wants to do that. So I think it is if you get the ball out fast, like Brady style when he was in New England, getting out to the slot guys, getting out to the Danny Amendolas, the Wes Welkers of the world, the Edelmans, get him out fast. Pat's holding on to the ball because he wants a deep shot. I mean, he's getting kind of restless back there. So yeah, I don't think the offensive line played horribly pass protection wise. They had a blitz to get to us, so that was a positive. It was just 5-man fronts just getting to Pat, or 4-man fronts getting to Pat. They had a blitz to get to Pat today. So yeah, do I think they can be better? 100%. Do I think the run blocking can be better? 100%. But you're asking about the offensive line as far as pass pro. I thought they did good enough. And I thought they did better than they did in the Super Bowl. So that's an improvement right there. But I think, yeah, it comes from holding the ball to want to throw it deep, and Pat being restless, and not getting his deep shots in. So that's where I think it comes from, because some of the small stuff's there. Pacheco's there in the flat. He can throw it even earlier certain times. Juju's there. So I think it's a lot of that.
He's throwing pretty early, though. I think he was number 1 in the league after week 1. So I don't think that's it. I mean, Brady actually said he's throwing too early, just like the moment he sees someone flash open, he's just taking it, and he's not waiting a little longer. So it's just interesting. Yeah, I mean, Brady attributed to him not being comfortable with the. Oh, there he is.
JD, can you hear us?
I can. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. Here, you could turn my camera off. That way I could just kind of talk to y'all while I'm on my way home. Right?
Okay, that works.
Got a picture up there, like they do, like CNN or like one of the news programs.
Yeah, I need to get a picture. That's what I need to do. Yeah, it's on the scene.
Yep.
So JD, what were your thoughts on the game? Just kind of the broad summary of the game.
It's still execution. Turnovers at the inopportune time. Still need to do a much better job up front in the run game. I think our defense played a pretty good job. They did their job that they needed to. They held up to 20 points. I think it's a sham, this whole tush push and not calling it. We know that the guard is coming out. I mean, they're blatantly off, offsides. It's not even like you don't even review it. I think if you have something like that, you should be able to have a chance to review something of that nature. You know what I mean? So, but other than that, man, I mean, hey, look, the guys are in the game, had a chance and opportunity to win it, could have went up, and then, of course, the interception just took the win out of ourselves a little bit. But even then, go down, you score a big touchdown, and what I couldn't understand was like the onside kick. I didn't understand that one.
Yep.
So, but hey, look, it's always after the game. It's all reflection on it. But I mean, this game could have went either way, really, truly. So, Eagles are a good football team too.
Yep, good football team. We're down our 2 top receiving targets, and we only lose the game by 3. Right? We had, and we could have won that game, multiple different ways. Right? The Kelce drop in the end zone. That ends up being a pick. That takes away points. Butker missing a field goal, wide right, big time. That's also points that we didn't get to have either. And also, right. And that gave them a short field too.
Short field, yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, and you can't do that. You can't leave, points up there on the board where you should have known you should have scored. 2nd and 5, slant, and I'm just like, well, so.
Yeah. And also, we kind of talked about it before you got on here, but the 4th and 1 on our own, 20-yard line, that was one of the worst calls of the day there. I mean, forget the play call itself, but situationally, 4th and 1 on your 20 in the third quarter.
Right. Yeah. I think it's times to be aggressive. Other times, man, if your defense is playing pretty decent, you got to just trust what they're going to do, right? But all you're trying to do is you're trying to build some type of momentum, right? If you get it, it's like, yeah, okay, here we go. We're not scared of you. But if you If you don't, then it's like, oh man, this is a horrible decision, right? Look at the choices you make in life. It's like, oh my gosh, why did I make that choice? It works out. Oh my goodness, great. So just things like that out throughout the game that you know helps determine to where we got to right now today.
Yeah.
My thing is, we two good teams. Which we are, but man, we all in these games. We all in them. We are. So
Yeah. 100%.
keep tightening the screws, baby. Just keep tightening the screws.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we talked about it before the season. This is going to be a tough. The Chargers and the Eagles are going to be tough matchups, regardless if we had Xavier Worthy or without Rashee Rice, and we were without both of them. So that definitely they're going to be tough regardless if we had those guys. We have a comment here from Taryn Young, contribution from Taryn Young. Appreciate you, Taryn. Also, your opinion on Kelce ruining a second game in a row. Will he again take the blame on the podcast this week? I'm assuming she's talking about the tip pick.
Do I think he's going to take accountability?
Okay, yeah, that's the question from Taryn.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, why wouldn't he? I mean, he's just going to say, he understands he needs to have that one. Wasn't a bad play. I think it was just kind of early. Pat waited just a split second more. It's a walk-in touchdown. It's just a little bit of timing, right? I mean, that's how it is. It's in football. So, Travis is going to tell you, man, he needs to play better. I mean, what else do I want to hear from him? Seriously.
Yeah, sticking with the.
He's one of those guys that I don't really. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what were you saying? He's one of those guys. What?
That you don't have to worry about. I don't worry about Travis getting in the game, back in order. I don't. So.
Yeah, he's
like I said, it's just one of those things that he just right off his fingers.
Yeah. I think what more people are kind of concerned about, right? You have last week, you had the kind of the miscommunication with Mahomes where he stops that route instead of continuing to cross Pat's face on that in the red zone. And then this week, the red zone, he has this drop. So I think that's what people are more like, just kind of like 2 weeks in a row.
About that?
I guess it's more so. I guess concern from the concern from the standpoint of usually we don't see those kind of miscommunications with Mahomes and Kelce. Usually they're all on point with each other. And 2 weeks in a row, we're kind of seeing that right out the gate. Maybe there's just more of a microscope on it just because Kelce just, is a bigger star now. So there's more of a microscope on those kind of those things now. I don't know. But that's where I've seen most people kind of concerned about it from that standpoint of 2 weeks in a row having things that we don't usually see from Pat and Kelce.
Yeah, I think it's a microscope on it, man, for sure. People are going to nitpick and say, oh, man, what is that? Is something going on? Man, shoot, just missing them. That's it. They're just missing them. And you can see them grimace because they are like, just missed it. We've seen them capture that hundreds of times before, right? Make those plays, and I don't think it's anything less than it's not a big issue, right? Looks bad because of the result of it. But they're just missing each other right now. Pat missing long balls. I mean, shoot, there's always going to be something like this in a football game. Okay, I watched a ton of football this past weekend. I've been to a few games, and that's just part of ball. There's things it's never going to be perfect. So.
Yeah, and like Ducking Pond says, here's a comment. Kelce played great until that drop, which wasn't a perfect pass, but he should have caught it. 100%. I thought Kelce played great. That 4th and 4 catch he had was a low ball. You can even make the argument it was a bad ball by Mahomes, but low. Kelce grabs that thing, snags that thing, and takes us, gives us the yak down the field. So I thought Kelce played a great game. Besides that tip.
Oh, yeah, I mean, shoot. like I said, it was just a split second more, split second. So
What do you guys make of I've also seen this question about you guys. So one of the things I've noticed from people online and just the Chiefs Kingdom in general, right? Kelce, like we're down Rashee Rice, we're down Xavier Worthy, right? But we're not really seeing the guys that, Noah Gray was a lot more involved in the offense last year. It's obviously early, 2 weeks in, but Noah Gray's not really involved in the offense. Robert Tonyan, we thought, would be a little bit more involved in the offense, especially when you're down two other options. You would think the tight ends would be more involved with the overall offense. And we're not really seeing that so far, 2 weeks in, but we're not really seeing the tight ends being utilized in the ways that, we usually have creatively get the other tight ends involved. Is that kind of a miss by Andy not trying to scheme up ways to get our other tight ends involved?
well, I mean, my answer to that, I always get the tight ends involved. I mean, why wouldn't you have 2, 3 good tight ends, really good tight ends? I would absolutely put him into the game plan. And I don't know if they just want to call him a number or, if things are situational. I get it, but you got to find a way to work those guys in. And so I think Noah Gray had one catch, there's another thrown to him that was kind of low. So
Yeah. And one high.
Yeah, and so you talking about these matchups. There's matchups there that you try to exploit. You look and see what they got on defense. You say, hey, okay, do our guys match up really well against them? Can we win 1-on-1? Is this personnel that we can utilize to our advantage? And I believe we can. I do. I just just for whatever reason, it just hasn't came about.
Teja, your thoughts on that? The tight ends, not the entire room not being utilized really so far this year.
Yeah, that was. I think Gray had early targets, and that was it. I didn't see the rest of the game. I don't know. We should be looking for any advantage, honestly. I don't know why Brashard Smith's not getting more targets. I don't know why a lot of guys aren't getting more targets. We're not being that creative in the passing game, that's for sure. And I don't know if it's just early season miscues, but we're just off. We just don't look right on offense. We're just off. The throws are either low or they're too high or they're too early or too late. It's mostly been too early though. That's been the problem I've seen. And I don't know if that's the cause of maybe some of those high throws, because that Gray one was really close. Almost like if you would have waited another second or two, that it might have been in Gray's area enough to catch it. The Kelce one was also a little early, like JD said. So it's just off. Like Mahomes is ahead of everything by about a half second to a second. And that's the cause, I think, of a lot of our problems. Is that because he's worried? Maybe it'll take time for him to get adjusted to the new protection.
No, I think I think part of it is he's pressing. I think, he sees it. He sees what he wants to do, and he's just pressing like, oh, here it is. And it's like, man, a little bit more patience on it, right? Just wait that extra second, Pat. So that could be, and I don't know, man. We can speculate a lot of different things. Is some of that is footwork, technique, getting the ball out. I mean, I know he's Pat wants to win. And that's the thing about it. The crux of it is he's a winner. He wants to win, and sometimes you do that. You'll try to do everything you can. But I think I heard a little bit earlier that y'all was talking about the blitzes and stuff. Him not recognize that is on him.
Yep.
That's on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was like, it's up, when they were making that statement of, Fangio hadn't blitzed that many times. That don't matter. Shoot, you know what your work kit is. You do. Based off of protection, you know where your hot is. You know where you should be looking. And so, man, I was like, how did they miss that? So I didn't expect the blitzes to get home like they did, to disrupt us like they did. But
Yeah. Yeah. Last year to the first 2 weeks, Noah Gray had 3 catches to the first 2 weeks, and Jared Wiley had 1 catch to the first 2 weeks. So that's 4 collectively among the tight ends. The tight ends outside of Kelce to the first 2 weeks this year. Noah Gray's got 2 catches, so it's only a slight less than what he had to the first 2 games, or the other tight ends, slight less than what they had last year. So. Again, I thought we incorporate them a little bit more just to start this season out, especially with our woes to our receiver room.
And Makuba's a player, man.
He's good.
Yeah. So you got to make sure, okay, that this is purposeful using the tight ends. It helps out in the run game. You know, we had that one on 4th down. The tight ends were in. We didn't convert. They were able to kind of get penetration, which to me was kind of crazy. I was just like, geez, what? I just, and I'll still talk about this because it didn't sit right with me that guys were not coming off the football like they should. And, you know me, I'm going to get into the film deeper, but my initial, look at this thing, I still need enough, a little bit more from some of those guys up front.
Yep.
I do. Same thing, man, with the pass rush, still got to be able to get there. It's good to see Norman Lott hit Jalen Hurts.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was.
It was nice. So
that's good for his confidence.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So there's little things like that you could take away from this game, try to build on, right? You have to have positives for something like this. And
for sure,
Super Bowl champ, right? Okay, these 2 guys was at the top, mountaintop last year. So we knew it was going to be a slugfest, and it was. It wasn't a blowout. It wasn't like everybody thought they were being nervous. We should have won this game. Just put it there. We should have won it.
So we have a combo. I want to get to our running back. So Baca 87, appreciate the contribution, buddy. The running back room is a complete joke. Forget wide receiver depth. Find a freaking RB immediately. So my retort to that is, because I want to get to the running backs, is this week, right? Well, last week we had 5 carries for Pacheco, 5 carries for Hunt. We talked about neither of those guys can get into a rhythm. This week we had 10 carries for both of them, so an improvement, right? But it's just this endless cycling of 1 in, 1 out, 1 in, 1 out. Kareem Hunt and Pacheco need totes. So I don't know what you think, JD or Teja. What do you guys think about this? I think they need to pick one, make that guy be your bell cow, and then when that guy's tired, then take him out. Then put the other one in. But I just don't think. I think one of these guys needs to be our guy, and then you go to the other one if need be for 4 to 5 carries to spell the other one. That's where I am with it. I think these guys want to get going, and I think you need to kind of give one of them more carries because this whole splitting of in and out, in and out, in and out. No one's getting into a real rhythm between the 2 guys. And also, too, do you think it might be time to maybe see what we have in Eli Mitchell to see what he can do as far as getting totes? But again, that would be another guy also splitting off more carries to another guy. What do you think about the whole the kind of the rhythm and the rotation of the running back group?
So, one, I do agree. I think you have to have a guy come in and let him get a rhythm of getting the guy, let him get his totes and see what he can do with it. Me and Chad both. Chad said, "What's up?" By the way, but
Chad Lee, my guy.
yeah. Today's his birthday, so sitting there, having some cake and eating the good old lobster broil. So, yeah,
that's money.
Got a little messy in the room, but it was good. So
it's fine.
We were wondering when Kareem Hunt looked good. I think burst out for like 8 yards, and all of a sudden Pacheco comes in. We're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, and then 2, I'm just gonna say it. I don't like our run game. I don't like the scheme of it. I don't like it. I just it just seems too vanilla. for me, for the guys. And you talking about the creativity. I just don't see too much of it there. And we don't look like we brought in extra linemen at one time, but other than that, man, we got 5 guys up front. And if any of those 5 don't get up to the second level or get clean on double teams, that's an issue. That's a problem. I'm sorry. And I think that might be a part of the issue. Well, why we not getting enough yards? Our back should be getting hit initially at the line of scrimmage and fighting to go through 3 or 4 at the second level.
Or behind the line of scrimmage a couple times.
Or behind the line of scrimmage, right? Or behind the line of scrimmage. We see Pacheco. Yeah. Go ahead, Teja.
No, that's exactly because Marcus and I were on the phone at one point, and he was like, he was hard on Pacheco, and I was like, dude, he got hit like 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. What do you want him to do? Right when he touched the ball, he's got to dodge somebody. I'm like, dude, Barry Sanders couldn't get out of that. I mean, it's not. I mean, what the hell's going on with our line? They can't let someone not get touched at the second they touch the ball. I'd say
he's in the backfield. I'm like, this.
I'd say get someone else, but I don't even think it would matter at this point. I think we have to get the action. I think you're right. We need to get the scheme down, or I don't know, get some of these guys. I'd say pay them more at the line, but they're already paid a lot of money at the line, so I don't think that's going to do anything. I don't know, man. I want to look at the grades actually, see what the PFF run grades were, because again, our run game looked like shit.
Yeah.
But
Jay,
I see some straight-legged blocking. I see guys standing up trying to block straight-legged on short yardage, and I'm just like, what in the this? And I couldn't believe it. So, man, go ahead, Marcus. Hey, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I'm glad that you and I share the same thought on the picking one guy to be the dude and then letting that guy get into a rhythm. Because again, and these are 2 guys, Pacheco and Hunt, and be it if they do choose Hunt or Pacheco, these are 2 guys who need totes to kind of get into a rhythm. They get better as they get going, as they kind of grind down the defense the way they run, their running styles. They're not like a home run hitter, like 88 out the gate type of running back. They're guys who are going to wear you down slowly but surely. But if you're like in and out, you're not getting any rhythm. You're not going to wear down anybody by doing that. You're not going to kind of get into a rhythm yourself. So like for me, I know people want to say, oh yeah, the running back's an issue, but it does come down to the offensive line play. And like there was times one of the conversions that Kareem Hunt had, I was on the 3rd and short or 4th and short. Trey Smith totally whiffed the guy who was blocking. Luckily, Hunt got the first down on that, but Trey Smith whipped his guy, and that was just on me watching the replay, not actually going back and watching the all 22 views. But I'm sure there's many plays in this game where you see that from the offensive line. Hence, why we're not getting any real breakthrough from our run game.
Smith tries to go for the knockout punch too much instead of just getting the block. I noticed.
Yeah.
Katie, do you notice that as well?
I did.
Okay.
Get your cleats in the ground, man. Come off the football. And so, if like you said, if you're going for a knockout punch, like your steps should be shorter so you can initially get a guy moving. That's what you need to do. Like knockout punches doesn't work on the offensive line of scrimmage, because if you miss him, then you miss big. That's just what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden, you see Kareem Hunt having to turn his body from the backfield, trying to get to it. He had some hard runs there. I was just like, that was on his own. I was like, he got 4 yards on his own, turning his body, just trying to get there. And so I think those guys up front, man, will tell you they need to do a much better job too. I know they can't be happy with it. Usually after the game, you're critical of your own play. You are, right? It's hard that you just pat yourself on your back. You know what I mean? Unless you're just dominating and decimating the team. But anytime it's close or you lose, You replay in your head all the missed blocks, what your technique lacked to get the job done. And so I know this is what the guys are doing right now. You know, heck, I'm mad for them. And I didn't even play the game, and I feel like I did. I'm like, geez. Like, I would be absolutely pissed off. I would be absolutely pissed off on some of the performances, man. It's not a good taste in their mouth, man. But I think for me, all these stuff that we're talking about, the losses, 0-2, these are things that are still fixable. Like, if you're still in the game with these two teams like this, these are things that we know you can fix to be that much better, to win in games like this, right? I mean, I was hearing some people think that I actually thought we were going to get blown out. They were thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to lose by 21 points. And the defense showed up today.
It did.
So,
yeah. And one more thing about the run game before we get to the defensive side of the ball. I'm seeing a lot of this, JD, and people are saying that they feel bad that Patrick Mahomes has to be the one to put the cape on and kind of will the offense, that he needs help out there. Someone else needs to step up, be it the offensive line, be it another skilled player. But Mahomes right now is currently on pace for 1,300 yards rushing this year. And I know we love that aspect of Mahomes. He can run when need be. But Patrick Mahomes should not be on pace for 1,300 yards rushing. We should have a runner who's going to be on pace for 1,300 yards rushing. Not Patrick Mahomes, not our QB1. He's not RB1, he's QB1. But what does it tell you that Patrick Mahomes is on pace for 1,300 yards right now, JD, after week 2?
yeah, come on. That's just a projected number. People could say that. We know that's not going to the reality of anything. You know what I mean? Like, Pat is kind of taking what the defense is giving him, right? And so if Pat can go get a first down with his legs, he's going to do it. What was the bet? What would you say, Marcus, he was going to get?
25 yards rushing, and he hit that on his first drive.
Yeah,
or second drive.
I was like,
second drive.
I was wrong. I was wrong on it because I thought they spy him and they didn't. And so Pat just took off running, and he successful. So he's just going to play what the defense gives him, and he should. And I think I heard Tom Brady say something about, like, Pat said, usually I wait till the playoffs to start doing this, but I feel like I need to wheel the team, forward to make a play to get the guys going. And that's for him, it's on his shoulders as the leader, as the face of the team, as a franchise, almost of the NFL, to be that guy. Because we expect that out of him. He expects that out of himself, right? We seen the first game, he's getting tattooed over on the sideline. He's like, Pat, man, go out of bounds. But that wasn't in him. He's not scared. He's not afraid of anything. So he's just there to compete and make plays. And he's trying to rally everybody else around him to say, hey, look what I'm doing. Come on. So,
and before we go to defense, I just want to say, I don't need to see someone be the bell cow, but at least give them like a drive each. And they used to do that. They used to say Pacheco had a drive, then Hunt had a drive. They could do that. I don't see any problem in having guys get their own drives, at least, just to see. And you know what? If they're running great that day, then yeah, make them. You just keep going with it.
We lost JD. He's driving right now. He'll be back.
He wanted to be the bell cow of the company.
Jeff, we're not overreacting, man. We're talking about the running game. The running game right now is just, it's not up to par.
No. I don't think the sky's falling by any means. And when I was talking to you about this yesterday, I didn't have to see a win this weekend. It was more like what I wanted to see in our attitude. Our D-line had to play better. Our O-line had to play better. Overall, I think we needed to play tougher and rise up to the occasion. I think we did that. We had some stupid mistakes that caused us to lose, but overall, we played a much cleaner, better game. I think we were way more focused. This is way more what I'm used to seeing from them. Now we have things to clean up, but I'm way more encouraged this week than last week, even though guess we were probably closer last week to the win. I don't even know. It's hard to even say at this point. But again, so this last week, we were due for these losses. Can't win every close game like this. Another really close game. And if you lose a turnover battle, we had a lot of games the past couple seasons where we lost a turnover battle and still won. That's not a common thing. That's rare. You're usually gonna lose, right?
Yeah.
So, and especially there were games last year where we lost turnover battle, we lost time of possession battle, and we still. I mean, look, they out timed us by about 5 minutes. We had almost the same exact penalty and penalty yards, but they had the ball for 5 minutes longer, and they didn't turn the ball over. So, I mean, you're going to lose those games usually.
Yeah, 100%. Appreciate that, Gary Holland. Yeah, we have 295 people in the live, y'all. Hit the like button, guys. It'll really help us out, get our voices heard more throughout YouTube and the Chiefs community world. So if you guys hit the like, that's all you got to do. I don't usually ask for the likes, but why not? We have 300 people in.
Hard.
Appreciate that.
Good joke.
All right, we got Taryn Young. Simmons chased. I appreciate the contribution, Taryn. Simmons chased down TD saving tackle was outstanding. Yeah, I mean, we heard throughout the pre-draft process and throughout preseason, this guy's an athletic beast. He's a fast dude, man. He hawked him, dude. And and Makuba's a fast guy. That was honestly outstanding. That showed you effort by Josh Simmons, that he cares. And that was an overall awesome play. I thought that was fantastic. What did you think of that, Tej?
18 miles per hour. Fastest by a lineman in the last couple of years, they said.
Is that what they clocked him at?
They said that during the game. Yeah, it was the fast 18 miles per hour on that run. It's the fastest O lineman's been in the last couple of years. He was running, man. I just didn't want him to get hurt when he was toppling over after that. I was, dude, please do not get hurt on. That would be the second time in 2 years that an offensive player has gotten hurt trying to in the middle of a turnover, right? Because didn't Rice get hurt on a turnover last year?
Yeah.
Mahomes was trying to tackle the guy out of bounds, and so please don't let that happen again. But yeah, that was pretty impressive. I do want to say the comment about us, they're old. Talking about the Chiefs, is there a certain? I know there's a certain. Is talking about running back? Or is talking about the team in general offense? We're not old at all, right? I mean, our receiving core is all under the age of 25.
Now
Kelce's
under 30 because Hollywood and
that's true.
28.
But our main. I mean, yes, we're missing two guys right now. Our two highest targets on offense are 23 and 24. Kelce's Kelce, but he's on his last year. Our O-line's an average of 25 years old. Our O-line's young as hell. So
I mean, yeah, I would consider 28 old. Hunt and Kelce, yes, they're older for sure. But I wouldn't consider Hollywood Brown old. I mean,
when your oldest receiver is 28, that's not an old receiving core. That's not an old receiving core. And everyone's dying for Tyreek Hill to come back. Tyreek Hill will by far be our oldest receiver on offense. So
yeah,
that's hilarious that people want that, but it's we're too old. Okay, well, pick one.
He plays like he's old. I will say Hollywood's foot injuries, it does look like it has taken a toll on his speed. I don't see the same wiggle I saw from our guy back in the Oklahoma days. That's for
he knows it too. That's why he's taking those 1 year, 6.5 deals, or else he'd be trying to hunt for bigger contracts.
Yeah, for sure. Can we start more at right tackle next week? I'm curious. I want to hear what JD has to say about that. And we'll probably get more of that tomorrow for our grade show. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, hop in tomorrow night. JD and I will be doing a grade show. We go each position and JD grades positional groups and talks about each player.
Can you take a bet on penalties? I would just take one on Jawaan Taylor every game. And
just one.
Just cash it out every
as far
game.
as Jawaan Taylor penalty watch, he only had one today, and it wasn't a false start. It was a holding.
No.
Yeah. A holding penalty.
I also think it's funny too, by the way. I was going to say this earlier when we were talking about Tush Push and complaining to the league. People complained about Jawaan Taylor's antics about getting started early on those kick starts. They came down on it. Let's see that about some other things. Maybe silver lining to us not making the Super Bowl this year, if we do not go, would be the Bills play the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and after the Eagles do the tush push against the Bills, they outlaw it, because that seems to be the only way You can get something outlawed. If the Bills lose because of it, then they go ahead and outlaw it. So
That's true. That's a good point, actually. It's just strategic.
do the Bills? Do they play the AFC East? No. Oh,
No, I don't think AFC East plays they're playing the AFC West this year. The AFC East is playing the AFC West, so no, they're not playing each other.
that's true. That's true. Yes.
So we got another comment here, Charles. Okay, well, yeah, we're gonna get to the defensive side of things. I want JD to see this, but
No, the Eagles do play the Bills, by the way.
They do.
Yeah, week 17.
Okay, so yeah, that might be a very
Maybe they'll ban it before the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe. So we have a comment here. Beach 303, Charles Menahu's a waste of space. He's done. Okay, well, we're about to get the defense soon, and JD is just joining us right now, so we're about to get to JD right now.
JD's not gonna like that comment.
JD, what's up, buddy?
What's up, brother? What's up? I got somebody to say hi real quick.
So you teleported.
Wait.
Where is he? There he is. What's up, buddy? How's the flag football season going, man?
Good.
What's your record so far? How's Coach doing?
Good.
What's your guys' record so far?
Good answer.
3-0.
3-0. Uh-oh. Dynasty brewing.
Yeah, here's the QB right here.
Ooh, QB1. What's up? That's
Throwing
awesome.
dimes. Throwing dimes. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
But we had how many 5 touchdowns was 38-0 today?
32.
32. Okay.
32-0. A goose egg.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Combination.
Yeah. Yeah, they the real deal, man.
Are you calling defense too, JD?
Huh?
Are you calling defense too, or do you have like somebody else?
No, his dad's calling the defense.
Oh, okay. Nice. And you're calling the offense, I'm assuming? That's right.
Oh, yeah. you like Popeye's plays? Plays drawn up? Yeah.
He's good.
I've been asking this guy to send me a few things. He said he got a couple of them he can hand to you, man. He's a QB for his flag football team.
We just won a championship, baby. Reigning champs right here, baby.
Just won a championship.
1-9 in the championship game, though. So you don't want that, though.
You admitted that on here.
Well, it's facts. I can't.
Now that you won it, it's okay to say it because you got the one.
0-9.
You would have not said 0-9 on here though.
No, I'm up with our chat. I'm up with our chief.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a
Go
relationship. Very good.
We got Kenneth Eaton says what he said. Thoughts on the 4th down decision? I felt like we lost the game not getting that one out of halftime. But you can look at all these different plays. How does it? What does it do for the game? And I look at this. I'm looking at we were in the game. We could have won the game if we get the score from Kelce catching the football. We got the momentum, and so they got to come down. They got to, try to conjure something up, to beat us in Arrowhead, which is tough to do. And so, first off, let me get a shout out to the crowd, to the fans, man. It was just like leaning on them, like the noise. Arrowhead's such a difficult place for them to go play. They felt every bit of that. They felt every bit of it. And I was sitting there trying to tell, I forgot who it was, my sister. I was telling her about, Sirianni, who came in last time. I said, when he left out, a little arrogant, yelling at the crowd. I don't want to see that again. Okay. Want to get a little bit of payback for that. So
he rushed me off in such a wrong way, man. He rushed me off. There's something about his character on the sidelines, man, that really takes me off. There's never been a coach that exuded that out of me before, but him, ugh.
Yeah, he like, oh, dude. Yeah. So,
I'm not a fan.
Sirianni, yeah, I mean,
there's been some other guys too in the past, but yeah.
Well,
the problem is the really annoying ones don't always win. He's annoying and he won and he's won. So that's double brutal, right?
Does a coach name come to mind, Tej?
Because they've all kind of faded because they kind of been humbled over time. They got fired and they went somewhere else and they're a coordinator now and they're kind of like they're more low key. So you kind of learn just to they don't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And you kind of it goes away. But that's the problem with this dude. He's won. And he's not going anywhere for a while until they have. In Philly, you have a losing season, and the next year you're on the hot seat. So
two seasons in Philadelphia that'll do the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so JD, we're going to talk defense, and now you guys both made a comment about how the defense played well today. We do have a comment from Beach 303. Appreciate the contribution. Charles Menahu is a waste of space. Sorry, he is done. I know Charles Menahu is a guy we're big fans of on the show. We were hopeful for what kind of season he was going to have this year. But defense was good today. So Charles Menahu, I thought he actually played a pretty good game today. I think our defense did. But what was your overall take on what the defense did? Because they pretty much took away the passing game. Outside that bomb to Devontae Smith, that was pretty much it. Their passing game was nullified. I mean, A.J. Brown had like 6 catches for like 20 yards. I mean, they didn't do anything outside that Devontae Smith bomb. What did you guys think of the defense today?
I mean, I thought they did a pretty decent job. They showed up when they needed to. And so they did a good job kind of stopping the run. Obviously, it's hard, like I said, with the tush push. And like you said, the passing game, the only one that Devontae Smith went, right? On McDuffie. That was like their big play. And he throws it up because he blitzed him. It's like, shoot, it's a Hail Mary. Let me throw it. Hopefully somebody goes and catches it. And Devontae Smith played it excellently. He did. It's just an excellent play on the ball. But they did a job. Anytime you hold a team under 21 points, you should win the game. That's your goal. Yeah. Your goal is, hey, look, no more than 3 touchdowns. We do that with our type of offense. We should score more than 21 points. Even if we didn't have, I would say we still could score 21 without Xavier Worthy, without Rashid Rice. And we just didn't. So.
Shout out to Noah Williams, too. Looked good.
Oh, yeah.
He was on an island out there against some of the best receivers in the league and looked pretty good. Yeah,
Mama went too big for him.
Yeah, because at first when Christian Fulton goes out, right, one of our biggest offseason acquisitions, he had he got scoped during the offseason, which he kind of missed most of training camp, and then he didn't really play a lot last week, and then now this week he goes out early in this game because an ankle injury is what was reported. Noah Williams steps up, looks phenomenal. I think that we got a gem with Noel. And then also Ashton Gelati got a lot more snaps this week. This is some guy that both you guys said last week he needs way more reps. JD highlighted him on our Monday show last week. He only had 9 reps last week, and then one of the 9 reps that he had, I mean, he was getting to Herbert. Love seeing him get more reps, and I love seeing these rookies come in and you gotta be week 2 guys. You gotta be grown men. You're coming in here and you're being relied upon. And I thought both those guys are solid so far in 2 weeks and Noel Williams had played a big role today. What did you guys make of them implementing some of the young guys? And I think with Mike Dana out, we we'll talk about on the show this week. Do we bring in another edge guy, or do they kind of say, hey, Ashton Gelati, it's your time now. You're gonna get more reps because Dana's gone.
No, he earned it. That's what you do. If you want to play, you gotta show that you do everything to get in the game. And he did a good job last week, which warranted him coming in, getting a lot more snaps this week. And look, he's he's a draft pick for a reason. We liked him a lot in the draft because of what he was able to give. Why would you want to put that on the sideline? And so same thing, like you're saying, Noah Williams and those guys, young guys, get them out there right now. Get them out there right now. So see what we can get out of them early against some very hard teams. And this is a good measure for them. And like Teja was saying about Norman Lott, that hit on Jalen Hurts. Oh, he got it, man. He was electrified. He was like, oh man, he knew he had a good one. He knew he had a good one. That right there, you could go home and tell all the kids on the block, tell your mama, I hit Jalen Hurts today. It crushed him. Watch me on Sports Center. So
one of the other things that kind of stood out. So yes, the defense was great today, holding the team under 20 points. The team just won the Super Bowl. But again, still goes to the same problem that we had last week, and that was not being able to get pressure. I mean, it speaks volumes how great the secondary was, because there was times where Jalen Hurts could make a cake back there. That's how much time he had. And he wasn't finding anybody. He was having to throw little checkdowns. He got 1 yard or 2 yards here and there. But 2 weeks in a row, not seeing any pressure without blitzing. When they blitzed, that's when we saw the pressure. That's 2 weeks in a row. And we were doing like all out blitzes too. And I thought there was a funny point in the game where Jalen Hurts like yelling at his offensive lineman, like, what are you yelling at him for? They're bringing 8 and somehow they're blocking 8 guys. So why are you yelling at your guard? But it's 2 weeks in a row of seeing this. What is the problem here with the fact that we cannot get any pressure without having to send 8 guys?
You got to win one-on-one, man. It's that simple. They got some hosses on the outside. We know that too. Okay, you ain't going against chopped liver. So you got some big boys on the outside that do a very good job protecting Jalen Hurts. You knew that was going to be a formidable foe that you had to get around. And that's what you're thinking. I want to see more from those guys out there. Just kind of produce a little bit more pressure. And do everything in your power to get back there, just to make him uncomfortable. And he felt that power of being uncomfortable. But we always want, when you see 4 come, you want somebody to get a hit home initially. Chris is getting double teamed. That's going to happen. We watched it over and over again, and that's what teams are saying. Double Chris Jones and let everybody else around you beat you. If you do that, we're going to be fine. So.
Teja's thoughts on what you're seeing from defense as far as pressure-wise and not pressure?
Speaking of pressure, it puts a lot of pressure on Spags to have to call just a masterful game, a script every week to find out ways to draw up pressure without completely leaving your pretty young secondary out on one-on-one island situations. I mean, it's great that Noah Williams played well, but I don't want him to have to put him in that situation against elite receivers every week, right? So they got to find ways to get to the quarterback without having to send 8 guys, because it's just not sustainable. Great game plan in order to do it. I think he called well-timed blitzes, and our secondary played really well in not letting those happen. But yeah, it's still Spags. I think deserves a lot of credit today. I think he called a great game plan. I just don't think that's sustainable. Guys got to win. You're getting paid, especially if you have Chris Jones on your O-line, D-line. Chris Jones is in the middle here. You know, attention, man. We would be. You better hope 95 does not go down, because be major trouble. Now this will force Gelati to get more playing time within it. Then it's out extended, and Norman Lott's we're gonna have to try to get pass rush other places. And if Norman Lott's in there's a reason why he's out there. So. He's going to have to bring pressure from the inside to help any advantage we can get for some explosion up front. We're going to have to, and Lott brought it. Again, you got to balance that out too, right? Because you can't play him too much because he is a liability at run defense. So you got to figure out where that is, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Derek Nottie, Jerry Tillery. Yeah. Derek Nottie today.
Tillery was one of our higher graded D linemen, though.
See, man, but that's the thing, though. Look at that. Who's last on that? It was Chris Jones. I don't think Chris Jones is the worst defensive lineman. It's just crazy. I don't like the PFF grades. And you look. Sometimes you just look at stuff and you're like, man, what are these PFF grades? What is that? What's up, JD? You there, JD?
I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we were just talking about kind of the defensive line, and one thing I saw, again, misleading PFF. The PFF grades were at halftime. Chris Jones is our lowest graded defensive lineman, or lowest graded defensive player, as according to PFF grades. But Teja's making the point of, if we don't have Chris Jones, our defensive line just goes to crumbles if Chris Jones is not there. If 95 is not there, that defensive line, forget about all the other things we're talking about. We have big, huge problems that'll be exposed when 95 is not there.
Yeah, not just the line, but the entire defense.
Yeah. Derek Nottie today. Again, I'm not going to rain on the guy's parade, but there's a few times where I'm like, man, we let Mike Pennell go. And we brought back Derek Nottie. That's all that comes to mind when I saw that. Yeah. But all right, guys. So before we get out of here, we have another comment. Okay, so KC, appreciate the contribution. The Chiefs are exactly the NFL average age of 25.6 years. Yeah, we're not an old team at all.
Yeah, I don't think so. And that's one of the guys driving up that age is Kelce, who's going to be gone. So that's really, I mean, we're way younger than that overall.
Yeah. But yeah, guys. So again, I know we're 0-2. First time since 2014 that we started a season 0-2. We did not make the playoffs that year. This is the pre-Mahomes days. And the first time in Mahomes' career where he's dropped 3 straight games going back to the Super Bowl last year. Again, tough part of schedule, right? We knew going into the season it was going to be tough between the Eagles week 2, Chargers in Brazil. We knew it was going to be tough regardless of the injuries and suspensions, regardless of all other stuff. We knew it was going to be tough, a dogfight. In both games, comes down to the end. In both games, we didn't get blown out in either one of these games. So I know people are going to be upset that we're 0-2 and want to blow up the team, like I see in the comments that we have every week. This team, we're this close to putting it all together and going, and being that squad. I mean, we'll take a play here or there, and you lose the game. Play here or there, you win the game too. So we're that close. We're not game blown in these games, so no need to kind of, go off the rails because of a loss here. But yeah, that's kind of my takeaway. Just seeing a lot of the discourse online of the overreactions I'm seeing. Anything you guys want to say before we head out of here?
No, look, like I said, once I look at the film and break it down even more, I have a better chance to kind of make an assessment of it. But my initial assessment was that it was a hard-fought game. We were in it. Should have won this one, like we should have won the one last week. But these are things that we can overcome. And so if we see something like a step for the defense getting better against a good offensive team, then that gives you a lot of hope. And so same thing, like it was Xavier Worthy's coming back. That's something else we know we can build on as well. So we know there's things you can get better in different phases that you can do to get this thing turned around. And so I'm not gonna, you're upset being 0-2, but these things are fixable. And like I said last time, it's EAT, effort, assignment, technique. You see, I got it. EAT, effort, assignment, technique. I'm showing my grandson. Putting that in there, man, and that's what it is. It's your effort, what's your assignment, and what's your technique. And those little things should win out. And if you're a playmaker, you got to make plays. Buckner missing the past 2 weeks. We're talking about things that, this is uncanny. It's not like who the Chiefs are. It's not. And so you were saying Patrick and, Travis being off page, just for just a little bit. Those things can get better. You can do things to make sure those things click. And so you just got to take it for what it is, for what it's worth. These type of losses going to sting because you was in the game. And these are like one of the things that's really hard to deal with, but you can always go on, you can overcome it. It's all about your response to these things. It is. Because you're going to hear a lot of negativity. It's going to be a lot of the noise out here and all of that. And I still say stay away from the noise. Control and fix the things that you can fix and you can control. So once you start breaking the film down, there's some things that need to be talked about. There's some guys up front that need to do a much better job. So, man, like I said, man, just learn from the film. Daggone, just learn from it. But I think they're still going to be fine, man. These type of games is what's getting you ready for later on. That's what I believe. I truly believe that. So you're not getting blown out. You're not getting embarrassed by 2 touchdowns or, 17 points. It's nothing like that. Okay. I've seen some bad ball from other teams. Chiefs wasn't really it. They're like right here with everything, right? But we expect that. We do. And they expect that from themselves. So I'm not going to be down on them as much as they're going to be down on themselves. And those guys are going to get it right.
Yeah. No one's more disappointed than the guys in that locker room in that building.
Fact.
So
that's a fact.
Yeah. Teja, any final thoughts before we get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not not too worried. I mean, 0-2 sucks, and we lost 2 playoff teams, and one of them won the Super Bowl. So it's not like we're losing to teams that we should easily beat by any means. You're supposed to. Normally, you're supposed to, split with your division. You're supposed to win. They're supposed to win the home game. You're supposed to win the home game. So, let that be our Charger loss. We win the other one. It's a 50-50. You lost to a Super Bowl team. It's not, technically it's progress because last time we played them, they killed us. So it's actually much better if you're gauging it by that. I just want to see us clean up some things, and next week's a big week because that is a team that you're supposed to beat handily. Mm-hmm. So that's a very important. I'm curious to see how we play against someone who is not supposed to be that good, right? So let's see what happens when we play a supposed inferior opponent. Do we, put the foot on the neck, right? Do we go for the throat? I'm not worried yet, but it's getting closer there, though.
If we lose to the Giants, then I could say, yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared now. Right now, not scared. But next week, if we lose to the Giants, then I'm like, what's going on here? No.
Hey, shoot. Ain't never scared. Ain't never scared.
The good thing about it, too, it's a prime time game. So there's going to be a lot of extra talk about us being done, which is going to make us hopefully even more mad going into that game.
Yeah.
It's at New York, too.
Yeah. So a lot of press, a lot of chatter. There's going to be a lot of talking heads this week talking about the Chiefs being done, the reign being over. We'll see.
All right. Well, guys, that does it for us tonight, this post-game show. JD and I will be back tomorrow night right on here where JD does his positional breakdowns, grades. So if you haven't tuned into that show, it's a great show. Get more education into what coaches and players are looking at when they evaluate film as JD does his grades on Monday night, tomorrow night on our Monday morning tight end show at right around 8:15 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. All right, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. So, hey, man, let's shake it all off. Shake it off. So, we're getting back here. Isn't that the Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off?
It is. You know your Swift stuff.
It all comes back around. Look at that.
Shake it off. Shake it off. There we go. That's so loud. He's like, oh, man.
All right, guys. Well, everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend, enjoys the rest of the Sunday night football game. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Love y'all.
Love you guys. Talk to y'all.
See everybody. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.